Welcome to Corporals Corner. Today we're going to be constructing a simple pole snare, so stick around. Prior to placing your snare, what you want to do is identify a game trail. What we have here in front of us, if you can see this, is a makeshift trail that goes down and it actually breaks off around the corner to the right. And the entrance of that trail is right here. So this would be a good spot for our snare. Let's talk about snares. For this application, once again, I'll use paracord because that's what I have in my pack. All I've done here is made 2 figure-8 loops at each end. I've showed this before, but I'll show it again for newcomers. To make a figure-8, all you do, fold your paracord or string over in half, wrap it around like so, tuck the bottom under, and pull it through. And there's your figure-8. Now again, what I got here is 2 figure-8 loops at each end. I'll simply pass one through the other. And there's my snare. Once you've constructed your snare, it's ready to be placed on the game trail. What I've done here is I've driven a stake into the ground approximately 12 inches in depth, and I simply put a notch in it to hold my snare. At the snare end, there's 2 Y branches, and that will prop up the snare off the ground approximately 1 to 2 inches. And the idea is that the animal can come from either direction on this game trail, but it has to pass through this natural / man-made choke point that you created. So it passes into the noose or snare, realizes that it's caught up, and it will begin to run and choke itself out. Alright, welcome back. Let's talk about a few things here. That demonstration was very simple, yet effective. Now, how many of these could you put up in, say, an hour? Probably 20, 30 or more, especially if you got 2 or 3 people doing this. Now, let's go over the parts of this real quick. For this demonstration, I used a stake, and it's a little bit over 12 inches long, probably about 14 inches long. Does it have to be a wooden stake? No, it doesn't. It could be a tent pole. It could be a tree, like the ones I have behind me. You can just tie off to the bottom of that. It could be a big rock, etc. Use what you have in the surrounding area. If you don't have to make something and dull your knife, don't do it. Alright, let's move on. Let's talk about the paracord that I used. I used the paracord because it was in my pack. Does this have to be paracord? No. It could be wire. It could be the inner strands of the paracord. Some people say dental floss. Now, before I move on, let's talk about dental floss. Dental floss does work, but if you solely take that out to the field and say, well, I have dental floss, I don't need paracord, well, then good luck. If you have to use the dental floss and that's all you have, by all means use it. But I would not take that out there because you'd be setting yourself up for failure, not success. So if you have dental floss and that's all you have, once again, use it. If not, use the paracord. One of my subscribers recommended using the strings that come off your blinds at your house. You toss your old blinds out, cut the cords off. I'm actually experimenting with that right now, and it is pretty strong. But again, this could be twine, it could be rope, it could be bank line, etc. Most people prefer wire. So use what works for you. Alright, also, this is pretty simple, and I mentioned effective. What I wanted to do here is I wanted to do this simple video because I want to do a 3-part series. If you learn how to do this one first, this will build into a spring pole snare. The spring pole snare will move into a baited spring pole snare. So what I want to do is, again, this is one of 3-part series. So this is your first one, you learn this. The next one's going to be the spring pole, and then we'll move on from there. So, hope you all learned something today. So with that, Catch you all next time.